Hi guys.
Hey guys,
How are you?
good.
How's Axel doing over there?
He's good. He's good. He just had dinner, an early dinner.
What did he have for dinner?
Oh, his pellets and his hay.
His pellets and his
So now he's
hay.
getting ready for treats, which I think he's full just now, so it'll be there.
So love him. And we're talking about farming and urban gardening today. So
Yeah,
Axel should like that very
yeah.
much.
Another one of Axel's topics.
I love this. Carrots. Axel, does Axel eat carrots?
He does carrots, but he likes bananas more.
He likes bananas more. But when
And
he when he
that's something I just learned because I had a rabbit when I was younger, but they're obsessed with bananas. And
love it.
I follow several rabbit groups on Facebook, and
They
yeah,
love them.
everybody says it. It's like catnip for rabbits. So
I love it. I love bananas.
that's why you get
Um,
along.
We get along good. I like carrots too. Um, did he eat the green part of the carrot or the orange or both?
The orange. Yeah.
Not the green at all.
Sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I don't give him a lot because there's a lot of sugar in that. So I'm supposed
Hmm.
to give sparingly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. They're better off with other types of greens and things.
Cool. Greens, greens.
Yes. The stuff I
So,
used to hate it when I was a kid. I don't know why.
did you hated greens?
Yeah. Maybe
I
it
think,
was a premonition of what is happening now.
yeah, or maybe they were overcooked or
No,
funky
I
like
just
that. Just no,
I
you just didn't
think it
like
was the
greens. And
color, maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
I guess I kind of liked them. I didn't really care. I'm obsessed with them now, though. I like have to have it. If I don't have it, I kind of don't feel great. That's kind of one of my things.
Yeah.
Like I'll
Not that my
literally
mother didn't try, but it was just I don't know. I was into desserts more when I was growing up. And
kids
now I
like
kind of
sweets.
yeah, now I'm like the reverse. Go
Yeah, I'm
big.
like super savory person. I mean, I will literally, if I haven't had, I'll come home and take lettuce and just bite the
Mm.
because I just love it that much.
That's cool though.
I'm weird like that. I'm kind of like a rabbit. That's why I love
Yeah.
Axel.
And that's why you're channeling him.
So farming and urban gardening, and there's a really cool guy out in LA called the Gangster Gardener. If anyone doesn't know who he is, check him out. He's on Instagram, Ron Finley, and he is amazing. He has been doing his garden in LA for quite a few years now, and it's man, Axel would freak out. The bananas that this guy gets off his tree are
Wow.
just gigantic and they're beautiful. And he was also such an interesting story. And I don't know if it's on Netflix. I think it is on Netflix. Um, he was doing the gardening because he's trying to teach people to garden and feed themselves inner city. And he was saying that inner city people have the worst diet. Some of the stuff that they sell them really cheap is really, really bad for the body. So he was like, we got to get this going. And he did. And then partially from the street to the building to the street, there's these patches of land. And he got into all these rows with the city about being able to plant on those, which are, land that for people. So he had to argue that, which is just, I think in the future, we're going to look back at his story and just laugh because it's so absurd.
Or we'll see the insidiousness of it because it's almost like they know, oh my gosh, if you plant something that's nutritious, it's going against their plans.
Yeah, and I think the people who are caught up in it, i.e., the cops who got involved or people who tried to ticket him or arrest him, they're just good people in a bad system or just
Mhm.
dumb people in a bad system because you just have to be stupid not to see this is how ridiculous this is. So I think we really are going to laugh at it and we will see what it was because it's just so absurd. It's awful. But what he's done is so incredible. It's like this beautiful garden and I think people come in there and you know bring their kids through and all this other stuff. They do a lot of different functions there. He's a really cool guy and it's just fun watching him. I like his voice too. He's got a really deep
Mhm.
voice. So he's just kind of like, he's a cool dude. But there's all these people doing such amazing things. It's super inspiring. I would love to do something like that here
Yeah,
too.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I think we need to stop with the top down thing and go local, because even like the factory farming, not only is it bad for the animals in it, let's not even go there, but the soil is depleted because it's continuously being planted and it's not given a chance to rejuvenate itself. So the nutrients that you're getting from your vegetables now is, like, I think they said 80%, as high as 80% depleted from 30
Mm.
years ago.
Wow.
You're only getting
That's
like
intense.
20% of the nutrients. So why even bother eating it if it's not nutritious? And then not to mention the pesticides and everything that are sprayed on it.
By
That Monsanto stuff is insanely toxic.
Oh my God, the GMOs. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah. And then you've got things sitting in a supermarket on a shelf,
Mhm,
getting damp that can lead to mold. There's just so many different things we don't think about,
mhm.
and it's really, really bad for your health. Because really, somebody said something so interesting about eating, like if it's rotting, it's pretty much not good for anyone. Somebody was asking, like, what should I eat? And I just thought that was the most brilliant answer. It's like, well, if it's rotten, it's probably not going to be good for anyone.
No.
And that's something we don't really think about, but it is actually happening. So this fresh food thing is so amazing. And then a friend of mine was telling me down in North Carolina, they grow like well, all kinds of stuff down there, but um one of the things that they do is they freeze their berries from their local people and they put them in the supermarket. And she said usually you'll find local berries,
Oh, okay.
which is amazing because they've literally been grown that summer. So you're eating really good stuff in the winter, to making a smoothie or something like that. Um, and I love the idea. I mean, my brother-in-law does a lot of gardening here in the city, always has, and been involved with a couple of community gardens. He's an amazing green thumb. He can just grow anything. It's incredible. But it's weird with food, in the city gardens because we do have rats and stuff. So we have to be kind of careful with that.
Yeah.
So I would love to see some greenhouses go up. That's like one of my dreams for a project here. I was walking along the river today thinking that would make a great greenhouse and that would make
Mhm,
a great greenhouse
mhm.
to get some stuff like that going. Also because we have the winter, but I think some of the beds being kind of above ground would be really beneficial.
Or keep rooftop gardens,
Yes. We
terrace
do some cool
garden.
stuff like
I
that.
mean, they have those hydroponic units that you can have in an apartment too. And they're vertical and it's self-watering,
Wow, that's really
They're
cool.
kind of expensive, but I saw someone rig a system where he figured out how to water it, make the self-watering system on a budget. So there's always those things.
I love it. And then I think farming in general, we've got all the farmers coming in from the farmers market. We can always still continue to do that. I just kind of went full on that last year
Mhm.
because it's just amazing. I
My friend
feel
was
great.
my friend was part of something in Jersey City. You go to the farm itself and you pick your own stuff.
Yeah. My mom used to do that upstate.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think you buy into a certain portion and then
Mhm.
you can go pick whatever you want.
Yeah,
These are great things. I'd love to
yeah.
see more of
And
that.
it's good if you have a family too, because it's like a family outing. It gives you something to
Mhm.
do. It's like we're always looking for things to do. Um,
Mhm.
so why not do something that's not only gets you outdoors in the sun, but is also beneficial and it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, I just love it. And I love it. You can do it anywhere. And then just it's freely given. I mean, food and water are freely given in this world. It's really not something we should be paying for.
No,
Nobody else pays for it except for human beings. Why is that? Um, so I
it's
look forward to the days when that becomes more what we
yeah,
see.
yeah. It's just that whole cycle that money laundering system that was set up to keep us indebted and dependent on a system that we don't need to be dependent on.
Right.
We started out in small communities and local, and then it just expanded from there. So we could have the best of both, you know,
Yeah.
but just
I
be
was,
aware of the source of where you're getting everything from. I mean,
yes.
and don't believe the hype on everything, because I got into this conversation at work the other day, and I don't know what brought it up. I know it's probably my convoluted mind, but I brought up the movie Soylent Green, which Charlton Heston. And then my coworker's like, yeah, did you ever hear about? I said, yeah, I know. There's a brand of there's a drink
Hey, we've been living it.
from Soylent, right? That's the name of their company. And I'm like, it's either the worst PR program or the best one, because everybody's talking about it. I'm like, would you even think about drinking something with that name? And then they had a special edition Soylent Green drink. And I'm like, they're really pushing that in your face. And my coworker, and they sell it like something really good. You know, it's good for IBS, it's good for this, good for that. And I'm like, I'm not trusting it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, no. Hey, we've been living it. I know I was talking with a friend of mine today, and she was just like, yeah, that system just doesn't work. And I'm like, shocker. She's like, what? You mean the system is broken? It's like, yeah, we were just
And you
laughing
can't
about it.
even trust the FDA where they allow 4% human DNA in your food. Seriously?
That's,
I
yeah,
mean, I
that's,
guess if you have an accident while you're chopping stuff up and a finger happens to fall in your food, I don't know. But I mean, I think there's something a little more to it than that.
well, yeah, HEK, human embryonic kidney. Yeah, no, no, thank you. It's a
No.
colorant, and this natural flavor. What the hell is a natural flavor? Why are you calling it a natural flavor? If it's natural, you
Mhm.
don't have to call it a natural flavor. I don't know. It's really, yeah, no. So farming, urban gardening, we need to get back to
Yeah.
these things.
Get
I
back to
would
the
love
basics.
to see that all over the place. And I saw somebody had posted something about that, and then everyone was arguing. The fruit's gonna fall everywhere and rot. It'll be a mess in the cities. And I'm like, first of all, it's called doing your part as a part of the community. Go harvest and put stuff away. Also, you don't have to plant 50 million trees. I mean, 2 or 3 would
Right.
do the trick probably for an entire community. It's really amazing.
Right.
And then,
Or yeah, you get together with your neighbor and one person grows one type of crop and the other person grows a different type. And so you support each other.
yeah, so you're not
And
overwhelmed with
right.
tomato. Like my friend grew tomatoes and she planted too many and she was like, I can't eat all these tomatoes. She was freaking out and she couldn't give them away either, which
Oh,
was really frustrating for her. So she was like, never gonna do this again. And I was like, man, if I ever need tomatoes, I know who to call because you
yeah.
you got quite a harvest there. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like if you do maybe one plant and then your neighbor does another and you can share stuff and it's amazing. And I would
And then
just love to see that.
I think Sasha Stone met a couple that were making freeze dried. They were freeze drying.
That's cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, a friend of
And
mine
so
was telling me
like,
about that too.
yeah, I mean, you could do that and then you have enough food for the next 5, 10 years, you know?
Oh my God. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have so much. The abundance is astronomical. It's just that no
And
one's doing it or
no
doesn't know
one's
that they
or we're
can.
wasting or we're relying on, the convenience of, the supermarket and stuff. And I'm telling you, you go through the ice cream section and you're putting 9 out of 10 of them back because they all say GMO, GMO, GMO.
Yeah.
Not eating that.
No. And
But
once we get back to this kind of stuff, it's going to be so amazing because it's going to be so good for the earth. It's going to be so good for the soil, all of those things. And then I think, I mean, you you can just feed so many people. It's unbelievable.
nature heals itself and our bodies will heal themselves
Hmm.
with the fresh, proper nutrition, which we're not getting right now.
Yep. And we can do so many cool things. It'll just be wonderful. And in the
Reminds me of
meantime,
that
we do what we can.
movie, Wally.
I don't think I
when
saw that.
yeah, it was like a nuclear war took out the planet, and they had this spaceship, but it's like a cruise ship, and they've been out there for like, I don't know, hundreds of years. And they have the little robot Wally is supposed to find, no, he's supposed to collect and clean up the residual from the planet. And they send a, new robot down, and she's supposed to, or it's supposed to, or it's a she, um find a source of life on a planet that was devoid of it. And she finds this little plant, and then this whole crazy thing ensues. But basically, it's the captain who fights back against years and years of this robot that's been controlling the ship, the autopilot ship, And at the end, he's like, oh, we're going to plant pizza, and we're going to plant this, and we're going to plant that. And he's thinking like whatever, but he's so excited about going back to the planet and starting to grow their own stuff.
I love it.
I feel like that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I know. It'll be good. I mean, I like to start seeing some of those things happening. One thing I do think we should plant a ton of it are flowers.
Yeah.
Flowers are incredibly beneficial for our emotional energetics.
And for the bees, without the bees,
yeah,
for
insects too, they need them. Butterflies,
yeah.
Bees, all that jazz. But they're really great for us too. I like to take tinctures, and they're you can make them. Roses are like the most edible as long as they're grown wild, not anything you would get in the store, but you just put them in water in the sun and spritz them on. You can take a little drop, couple drops in your water, but it really is an amazing thing. Axel agrees. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing some more of that.
Yeah.
And
good times ahead. We just got to get through
the
last bit of that dark tunnel, but we're almost there.
It's going to be so great. I'm excited because I think people are thinking of incredible things. So
yeah,
we'll keep talking about them. So thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, honey.
See you.
Bye, everybody.